find something very interesting that happened in court in New Mexico. The New Mexico Supreme Court on Friday handed down a decision against a Christian couple who simply wanted to live their faith. That's it. The language that the Supreme Court handed down should send a chill down your spine. Justice Richard Bosson stated that the defendants were compelled to compromise their very religious beliefs that inspire their lives. End quote. The judge went on to say, quoting, "It is the price of citizenship," end quote. What is this story about? This story is about a Christian couple that are photographers, and a homosexual couple came in and said, "We want you guys to photograph our wedding." The Christian couple said, "No, we're not going to do that." Well, why not? Well, because we don't believe in homosexual marriage. Now, here's how I respond to that. I don't want you photographing my wedding then. If I had people who said to me, "I don't believe that you should be marrying your wife because she's Italian," I wouldn't want them. So what do? Well, they decide that their right to have this couple photograph their wedding trumps this couple's right to disagree.
The religious liberty.
Yeah, it is.
How do you...
It
How
is
do you
religious.
make that determination?
It is the price of citizenship.
No, it's not.
No, it is according to New Mexico Supreme Court now. If this goes to the Supreme Court, do you know that they will decide otherwise? I don't.
Oh, no, you can't depend on them at all.
No, not at all. Not at all. You know, you'll have John Roberts come out with, he's been crying himself to sleep all night. "I don't want to be called names. I don't want to go down as a guy who was a bad guy in the Supreme Court. I don't want that." And he'll come out with red eyes and he'll be like, "Yeah, I guess there's no religious liberty anymore."
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I completely believe that's how that would turn out.
It's exactly how it'll turn out.
Think of how insane that is. I mean, to be able to choose what job you go on, to be able to choose... And as you would think, as a photographer, essentially choosing the subject of your art. You're not now allowed to choose the subject of your art. These are liberals advocating this.
And
I sure I understand.
I guess now the signs that say we reserve the right to refuse anyone at restaurants are completely out the window because you can't refuse service to anyone.
Right, or
apparently.
And it's
no, it's not a
if they're homosexual.
Not
anyway.
a constitutional right, but a constitutional right. Yeah, I don't have a constitutional right to get married. I don't have a constitutional right to get married. Name it. Which one is it? And I'm not talking about homosexual. I'm talking about anybody. Mm-hmm. I don't have the constitutional right to get married. I do have the constitutional right to practice my religion, and that's why I've been saying, conservatives, you've argued the wrong case the whole time. If you want to have a religion that marries homosexual couples, that's that religion's deal. It's just their deal. Fine. My religion disagrees with that. But their religion could say that, and that's fine. That's their deal. But once you get the state involved, marriage is a religious ceremony. It is a religious right. At least that's the way I view it. It's a religious right. I have the right to practice my religion. In my religion, I'm not married from time and all eternity. No preacher can marry. No judge can marry me and give me my marriage certificate. I'm married for time and all eternity. My wife and I are married for all eternity, not till death do us part. We actually, unlike others that everybody dies and they're all like, "Oh, grandma and grandpa are together again." Everybody believes that. But then somehow or another, when you actually get down to deep doctrine, everybody's like, "No, well, that's not actually true. That's not actually true." What? Then why are you saying it? I happen to believe it. My church happens to believe that. And so we're married. Well, I can't get that from a civil ceremony. I have a religious ceremony and a religious underpinning of my marriage. And so that's just the way it is. So what is the government even doing in my marriage? I get no value from the government in my marriage. And even if you are not, even if you're an atheist, do you get value in your marriage from the government? What difference does it make what the government does? The government has no right to tell us who can be married and who cannot be married, period. Now, what we've done instead is we've argued the progressive argument the whole time that there should be the government involved in our bedrooms. They should be involved in our marriages. No, they shouldn't. And everybody knows they shouldn't. How can you legislate love? Okay, I'm with that. So then what the hell are you doing in the legislation business, in the love business at the same time? It makes no sense. And so that doesn't make you a bigot. That makes you somebody who understands your constitutional rights to believe and have your own right of conscience. You want to believe that? Believe that. Fine.
This isn't even that, though. This is a private business being forced to do something against their religious liberties.